Hi, Valeria.
Hello.
I welcome you to the video series Meet the Expert in Citizen Social Science.
Yeah.
And you are from Buenos Aires. You are a member of the National Scientific and Technical Council in Argentina. And you work at the University of St. Martin.
Yeah.
And for me, for you as a citizen social scientist, my first question would be, who are you when you are a citizen social scientist?
Okay. So yes, I'm a social researcher first of all, and I've been working on this citizen social science project. And what I do, particularly in the project, is to coordinate the activities between the different actors that participate in the project, that are scientists, policymakers, citizens, community organizations, civil society organizations, and all of them have something to say about the issue that we are doing research, that is on environmental justice. And what I do is try to make them together, create space for interaction, and to let them listen to each other and to understand, particularly from the community, what are the main goals they want to do research on.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was someone in the past that you first was or became a citizen scientist. How did it happen?
Well, yeah, I've been working on open science issues since a long time now. And once I did a research on citizen-driven data initiatives, and I learned about some of them in Argentina, some of them that were very innovative. And one in particularly, I like it a lot, and because they were developing this platform to monitor policy making in a very contaminated area in Buenos Aires, a large area, highly populated. And what they did was amazing because they managed to mobilize the community to show data, or to what extent the policy was doing what it meant to be doing, and also showing the kind of facts that were contaminating the area. And this has changed the vision of how to make data available, make data more accessible for everyone. And policymaking started to share a lot of data after that. And well, I really liked the experience. So I decided that we wanted to do, in our research organization, we wanted to relaunch this platform, but with a different vision, with the vision of creating new knowledge. Because it's not just monitoring what is going on, but also using the data to create new knowledge that could transform the situation in the community, that could create actions, not just by policymakers, but also by the civil society organizations, or by other organizations. Using that knowledge, they could know how to make things going better, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite interesting. Was it more a personal starting point for you and personal interest that you had in this topic, or was it more that you approached this environmental topic from a scientific point of view?
No, I think it was more it was part of my research at the time, but I got emotionally, connected to that experience. I really liked it. It was very innovative. So I think it's a mix of both. I got to know them because I was doing research on citizen-driven data initiatives. So that's why I knew them. It wasn't because I was participating in the initiative at the time. But after I knew them, I realized that I really liked it. And when I had the chance to organize a citizen social science project, I thought about them. And actually, these people are now part of the project as well. This civil society organization, which is FARM, is also part of the same project.
Mm. And what do you actually do when you do citizen science? Yeah, are there certain methods? So you already told that you organize communicative spaces with the people, yeah, to discuss it. The special way to collect data together with citizens. But can you give us an example?
Yeah, well, the first thing is that when you do citizen social science, you need to understand what previous social knowledge and other participatory experiences on the topic has been there and what they have been doing in the past. Because you cannot start anything from scratch. You need to build from what it has been doing, and you have to build from the previous mobilization on the topic and previous participatory experiences. So the first part of any citizen social science activity is to get to know those other civil society initiatives that have been working on the topic in the past, and to meet them and to get them in contact and to then understand what it's worth to be doing, gathering together and trying creating synergies among these other experiences and build something new, but from what is already there. So this is the first point. And this is what in the project what we did to build the knowledge coalition. And by building what we call the knowledge coalition, that is just these different type of actors, many of them have already experienced doing some type of participatory initiative in the location, in the territory, and with them, and also with other actors that are important for citizen science, like scientists working on the topics, on environmental topics, or policymakers that have some responsibility over environmental issues. Working with them, you just start to understand on what particular areas you need to create more knowledge from bottom-up experiences from the community and why that knowledge matters. And the first thing you need is just to create those spaces for interaction, and then from those spaces, this main line of research and main line of actions will turn out as being particularly relevant.
Okay, great. So in general, when I think about science, so especially social science, yeah, then I see a desk, yeah, and an office and a university far away from the reality, yeah, the social world, I would say. Why is it important that citizens participate in research projects? What are the benefits?
Yeah, I mean, what people would say about the benefits of citizen science in general is that then science becomes more responsive to societal needs because it knows from first hand what is needed and what kind of knowledge has not been created and is important for the society to create, from the community to create. But if you want a specific example, we are working on several, as I said, several environmental issues. And one of the issues has to do with how to create better regulations to preserve natural areas that are not preserved by law or by any regulation. So there are some natural areas in the basin where we are working, and these natural areas have a very important benefits for the sanitation of the basin, so they need to be protected. And if you think from the social science point of view, when they try to think what kind of categories matter for protection, normally from a social science point of view, working inside your office, you will just search the literature or search other experiences somewhere else to understand what categories are important or what variables are important to create some new regulation, new protection normatives for those particular areas. But what happens if that particular area is used in a totally different way by the community to those other areas that have created the input for you to decide what is relevant for protecting the areas? So in this kind of project, what we do is we create the data. In particular, we create data about how the natural areas is used by the community, the interaction between people and the natural patrimony of the area. And by understanding, particularly in a situated context, how those interactions between nature and human behavior takes place, then these categories, these variables are, shown by the by the actual place that you want to protect. They don't come from outside, they come from inside. And hopefully, by taking this process, they will be more relevant or more responsive or more effective to create the protection that is needed. And this is just for doing research on that, and also from the policy perspective as well. I mean, the data that comes from the community, that the scientific data that has been produced together with the community is data that is more accurate for the particular situation that policy action wants to wants to take place.
Yeah, quite interesting. So if I understand it, then you get a different perspective, yeah? So the
get
knowledge, the
a
data that you
different and
produce.
more situated perspective.
Yeah, okay, great. And I think the keys, and these are the keys in citizen science, is participation, co-creation, collaboration, yeah? What does it mean for you?
It means everything, actually. I mean, that's what citizen science is. So I think that the collaboration should be a key in producing knowledge, with any type of method, even with other methods that there are other approaches that are not citizen science. I mean, science cannot be produced without collaboration. Collaboration among researchers, collaboration among researchers from different generations. We build knowledge from previous knowledge. So collaboration is key from science, and not just from citizen science. Participation, when you talked about participation, normally in citizen science you talked about participation from the community. And I think this, of course, this is also key, and it can take different forms. There is no one way of doing things in citizen science. So when you can think about community actors participating every day in the project, or you can think about community actors participating on and off, and that's fine as long as participation takes place in the whole research cycle, from thinking about the question that you want to answer, your research question, to defining your methodologies, to actually collecting the data, analyzing the data, and then transforming that data into action. You need to have participation in all those stages, but that doesn't mean that you have to, be talking to the same person all along the cycle. It just means that you have to have, relevant participants from the community taking some responsibility of the actions, of the activities in all the research cycle.
But it's not quite common that people participate in research projects, besides filling out questionnaires or to be part in an interview. So when you have a vision for the further future of citizen social science, what would be your vision?
Yeah, well, I think that in my area and the area I'm working, that is on environmental issues, there has been long experience, and I think in other areas too, of researchers being involved in social mobilization in relation to some particular problem. No? In environmental issues, there is a lot of tradition of experts that are involved also as activists, as part of a social mobilization that is trying to take care of some very visible and relevant problems. The issue is that my vision with citizen social science is that this kind of on and off interaction between science and society for some particular issue, which what I said in the environment, they are quite common. I mean, it had happened for a long time. But the idea is that citizen social science could become a sort of framework, as an umbrella, that actually make this more institutionalized in the way we do science. It's not just depending on one particular scientist that gets connected to one particular issue and then they want to relate to the community, but to have this in a more institutionalized way. And I think that this is my vision. I mean, that citizen social science could become a way, a practice, a common practice. Not for everyone, not for all research, but that there are the tools and the elements for it to become more institutionalized. So all this interaction between science and society could become as part of this umbrella, and in that way, science could become more democratized.
Yeah, great. So thank you, Valeria, that you shared your experience with citizen social science. And so I hope the best for your projects, and especially I hope that you get the possibility to work on this important topic, to do science together with citizens, that you have the opportunity for the further future, for your
Okay.
future. Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much. Thank you for the questions.
Yes, you're welcome.